What is going on? This is JD coming at you another video from Redskins Rant. Hail to the Redskins. This is my video talking about the first depth chart, official depth chart released. Got released this weekend, this weekend. Plus a couple other topics about the Redskins. Before I get started, like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Please share and subscribe with any Redskins fans you like. I'd like to give a little bit more notoriety to this channel. And also follow me on Twitter. It's Redskins Ranter. Other than that, hail to the Redskins. Let's get this started. So the first thing we'll talk about is Trent Williams not showing up for training camp yet. I saw a thing the other day where apparently he's going to get fined $40,000 every day. I watched an interview yesterday with Joe Theismann, and Joe Theismann brought up some interesting points. I'll go over kind of what he said, and then I'll kind of give my opinion on this. He went over that the Redskins have all the leverage. If you hear scratching in the background, it's my cat. I have a cat now, and the cat loves to just scratch stuff up, and he just ran over here. Okay, so if you hear scratching, it's my cat, so don't freak out. I don't have like mice or anything. It's just a kitten. Come here. Okay, anyway, so here's what Joe Theismann said. Doesn't make sense for the Redskins to trade Williams because he has no leverage right now. He wants to get paid money. He's going to lose out on millions of dollars if he doesn't play. And he's wanting the money for a few reasons. Either A, he's wanting he wants to get out of DC. Well, okay, if you want to get out of DC, you shouldn't announce that. Now we have no trade leverage, so we're not going to trade you. 2, he wants more money. Okay, so you want more money. Not showing up is not a good way to get more money. Okay. 3, I mean, I don't know what else he wants. Maybe he's unhappy with the training staff. Get your own training staff. A lot of players nowadays have their own training staff, so I don't really understand where that's coming from. Most guys will get an opinion and they'll also go to their private doctor and get a second opinion. So that's a common trend when it comes to players nowadays. So, me personally, I said this a couple videos back that I thought we should have traded Trent Williams, get some draft capital for him. Could have got like a second rounder this year, maybe a third. Before AJ Green went down, we could have possibly traded for AJ Green. He's got like 2 years left on his deal, and we could use an elite receiver to kind of give some breathing room to these other receivers we have that are kind of in a spot we need to grow. So that was kind of my opinion on that, is we should have traded him. Then I actually backtracked on that initial statement because he hasn't missed as many games as I thought the last 2 years, but then I learned he hasn't completed a season since 2013. Right now we have a decent backup that we signed. Hold on a second. We have a decent lineman that we signed named Donald Penn, and I think he's going to do an adequate job. He'll at least hold the spot for a year while Jerron Christian gets a little bit better. Apparently he's gotten a lot better in the offseason. He got a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger. I'm about to go over the depth chart and all the things that I've heard. I do religiously listen to Redskins Talk podcast with JP Finley, so they gave me a little bit more insight. And I also listen to the Junkies. I don't take what they say so much to heart as I do Redskins Talk, because they're just fans reacting, and they always have the most negative reactions to everything. So I don't always take what they say to heart. But when we do have someone on there they interview with the team, I kind of listen to more of those. So what I think you should do with Trent Williams, first off, don't cut him. Okay? If you cut him, you're going to owe him the money anyway, and you can just go play for another team. And we get nothing for him. Okay? And he has this year and next year on his contract. So don't cut him. Trade him. He's got 2 years left on his deal. Anywhere he trades to, they got a solid lineman for 2 years. Do I want him to play? Sure, absolutely. He's a great offensive lineman. There's just a lot of things that go into the I say trade him. I personally say get rid of him because this is a statistic since 2013. We do not have a winning record with him on the field. A player that and this is the biggest thing that gets me. This is going to set a bad precedent for Redskins in the future if they actually give in to his demands. He was the highest paid player on our team for a few years until Alex Smith came along. He was the highest paid lineman, offensive tackle, left tackle in the league until about 2 years ago. Okay, the Redskins made him the highest paid offensive lineman in the league for a long time. And his gratitude, the way he shows his gratitude, is by holding out and things like that. You can look into the psychology of it. Maybe he's feeling his own mortality. Maybe he feels like his playing days are kind of up and he wants that money grab as much as possible. If that's the case, I don't know why you're holding out. Because you can lose out $40,000 a day until you show up for practice. So on and so forth. So I don't understand that. I don't understand why he's holding out. I get it, you're mad at the training staff. Fine. Talk to management and say, hey, listen, training staff can do what they want, but I want my own training staff in here to do my own thing, whatever the case may be. He's earned over $100 million when it comes to the position. Just that. I'm sure he has endorsements. I don't understand where this money grab's coming from. He wants more money, like a little bit more money, just secure this year. I get that, but he has no leverage. Let's compare two players. The two best players on this team on offense has been Trent Williams, and then the best player on our defense has probably been Ryan Kerrigan last 5 years. Kerrigan misses no games. Okay? Trent Williams misses a lot. We have a consistent track record of Kerrigan fighting through pain and playing through pain and making sure he's on the field, and he doesn't complain about his contract. And now Trent Williams can't stay on the field. He's consistently getting hurt. Kerrigan never had like off the field issues like a PED use. Trent Williams did. So with all the stuff with Trent Williams, and we made him the highest paid offensive lineman in the league for a few years until the market reset, obviously. And Kerrigan, who's been more consistent, more on the field, doesn't ask for a damn thing other than just shows up and does his job. Why are we going to give in to his demands when we should, if anything the Redskins do, they should call Kerrigan off. Listen, we appreciate all that you've done. Here's an extra bonus of $2 million or whatever the case may be to kind of show that is the kind of stuff we appreciate here on the Washington Redskins. Not someone who we've had your back during PD use, getting injured all the time. We made you the highest paid player. You're still one of the highest paid offensive. You're the fifth highest paid offensive lineman in the league right now. You're the highest paid player on our team next to our quarterback, and this, that, and the other. And you're still complaining about your money. So why would we keep that on our team? I would pull him in the office right now. Listen, you either accept this right now, or we're going to trade you to somewhere you're not going to like. And when I say not like, you're going to hate it. That's exactly what I would say. I would get as much draft, loan haul, capital, whatever you want to call it, out of this player and get rid of him. He's going to be a poison in the locker room. For all we know, he's out of horrible shape right now. That's why one wants his money. He's in horrible shape. He wants an extension. He wants either more money this year or he wants an extension of a couple years. I'm not upset with an extension. Just say there's no guaranteed money on the extension. Like, no guarantees. Like, after 2 years, like, yeah, we'll re-sign you for a 10-year, two-year extension on this, $10 million a year. But you have to be healthy for X amount of games. You have to be this. That way that if he is not healthy, we can cut him. And he can move on to somewhere else. But that's all I want to talk about Trent Williams. I spent seven and a half minutes talking about Trent Williams and his bullshit. So I just want to go over the depth chart because we have our first game this week against the Browns. It's only a preseason game, so it's not that big a deal. So let's go over this. So the first wide receiver position, the depth chart says starting will be Josh Dotson. Okay? I'm going to be honest about Josh Dotson. He has moments where he can just look like the best receiver on the field. Then he has moments where I saw a couple of them. He drops wide open touchdowns in the end zone. And I'm not going to get into the rant I went on last video about him dropping a touchdown pass against the Chiefs. But he dropped a touchdown pass against the Chiefs. I'm not getting into it. So, I mean, they have him listed first, and then they have Cam Sims, Brian Quick, and Robert Davis. Brian Quick needs to be gone. I'm sorry, he's just not the caliber receiver we need. He fills a position. He's not a bad player. I'm sure he's a good veteran guy for the others. But Cam Sims and Robert Davis, I think, have a lot more potential for the future of our franchise than Brian Quick. Okay? There are other receivers, too, that I'm going to go over here in a second. So that's the first wide receiver position. The other two wide receiver positions are like slot and then the other split. Trey Quinn's good. He's a good slot receiver. He might be one of the best slot receivers in the league if he can stay healthy. If he comes out and he's anything decently productive this year, he was a steal because we got him the last pick in the draft last year. That is a steal and a half for what we got him at, and he's going to be a starting slot, one of the better slots in the league. I mean, if he's like half a Julian Edelman, I'll be happy with that. Okay? As long as he can catch the ball and move the sticks, that's what matters. And he's quick, he's smart, good route runner, everything. Now, a second wide receiver is Paul Richardson. Paul Richardson is the other split, I'm sorry. Paul Richardson is our deep threat. I have more faith in him right now than Josh Dotson. Okay? At the very least, we can put Richardson in to blow the top off a defense. That's the best thing we can do with him. And that stretches the field, giving Jordan Reed, Vernon Davis, Trey Quinn a lot more space to operate. That's really what he can do. And we can avoid injuries by having him just do go routes all the time. And if they have to play back 20 yards to do it, to defend it, that's fine. They're playing back 20 yards. That's exactly what we want. Okay? And that pulls back the safety, pulls back a corner. It's going to stretch the field. So he has more value to us right now. Josh Dotson sometimes can't get separation. He's a jump ball guy. He can actually go and get the ball, but he doesn't always catch it. There's so many issues with... I'd rather take Paul Richardson's issues right now because you can fix those issues if he's getting injured a lot. Just play him on go routes. Just have him outrun the defense and throw the ball deep to him if he's open. If not, you check down all the lower ones. You can literally do that with Richardson. You can't do that with Josh Dotson. Josh Dotson does not have elite speed. He does not have great route running ability. He does not have the ability to get great separation. A lot of his catches, if he's not wide open, have to be super contested. And he's actually decent at the contested ones. But it's the other issues with him is what the problem is. He's not a good route runner. He messes with time with the quarterback, things like that. The second receiver back up to Trey Quinn is we have Darvin Kidsby, which I don't know him, and Steven Sims, no, and TJ Raming. All three of them don't need to be on the team. We can back up that spot with plenty of other players. Hell, I'd rather put Cam Sims in that spot, or hell, I'd put Josh Dotson at the backup slot position. Okay, because at least he can do is go over the middle with a decent sized body and catch balls. None of those other guys are worth it to me. And then we have the other backup for the other split receiver is Terry McLaurin, which I wouldn't mind him at the slot receiver either. If he's not going to be a starter, put him at the slot receiver, backing up Trey Quinn. That would be a lot better because he is quick. He can blow the top off a defense too, but he is quick, and he's a good route runner, and he can catch the ball. He can catch the ball in traffic. He can catch the ball with contact. A lot of those things can be done very well. And then obviously Kelvin Harmon, I think he's going to be the one to eventually replace Dotson, or he'll back up the person that replaces Dotson. So I hope Cam Sims kind of gets Dotson's spot eventually. Maybe not this year, but next year we're gonna move on from Josh. And then I'll talk about tight ends. All right, right now, tight end wise, we have Jordan Reed. Obviously, apparently he's at a great camp. I mean, I know what I said earlier in this offseason when I said we should trade him. Listen, if he's healthy, he's going to be a good player. There's this proof. If he's on the field, he produces. That's a good correlation with Jordan. It's not like he's on the field and he doesn't produce and he's like hit or miss. If he's on the field, he will produce on the football field. It's that simple, okay? That's just a guarantee when it comes to Jordan Reed. The problem with Jordan Reed is it's also a guarantee he'll get injured. And that's why I wanted to trade him. If he's going to be injured all year, we need to get rid of him and get something for him. But if he's going to be healthy, like I've heard he's looked fantastic. I mean, obviously you look into that of people that are very optimistic, but Jordan Reed's looked good. He needs to, if he looks good this year, we're going to be exciting because if him and Vernon Davis can get back on the way they were like 2 years ago, we're going to have a successful offense because we actually have decent receivers now. Decent, not great, but decent. Decent receivers now. And I actually I went back and watched every one of Alex Smith's game last year. Alex Smith has got a pretty bad rap, and here's why he's got a pretty bad rap. Alex Smith was credited with having like bad this and not a lot of yards. I'm going to go back and tell you, the other day I watched every one of their games. Every one of the games from week 1 to I think it was week 9 or 10 whenever he broke his leg. There's probably at least there's a good couple of touchdowns in there that were missed because people dropped passes. Vernon Davis was one of those guys. In the Houston game alone, he dropped 3 passes. One was like a first down conversion for like 25 yards. Another one was like a touchdown or at least get us in field goal range, so on and so forth. So there's a lot of things that are kind of getting missed in that. And I don't want to sit here and say that, it's all the receiver's fault. Because that's what everyone said about Kirk. I don't want to get into that. Okay? I'm just saying that his how he ran the team and how he ran the offense resonated with the players because they understood he wasn't going to turn it over and the decisions he made were going to be the right decisions 99% of the time. And I think that resonated with the team because the rest of the team was like, okay, so let's just run the ball hard and he won't make the bad decision that screws us over. With Kirk Cousins, we had to have more of a we gotta get this chunk play. We gotta go bigger, go home a lot more often. So there was a different mentality with the offense. I think if we keep that mentality, Jordan Reed, Vernon Davis, and I don't know who our third tight end is going to be. It's probably going to be Jeremy Sprinkle. And I also have heard that is it Donald Parham and Matt Flanagan are actually not decent. So hopefully we can hang on to them because I think Vernon Davis will retire after this year. Anyway, I will move on from that. Left tackle. We don't have Trent Williams right now. I'd like to see Trent Williams, but we don't have him right now. Okay? So we have Jerron Christian, who we drafted him last year in the third round. I actually predicted we were going to draft him. It's kind of funny. I did a draft prediction video, and I drafted him I predicted third round. We got him in the third round, exactly how I picked it. He was injured most of last year, but with an offseason with the Washington Redskins and their training regimen, apparently he's getting stronger. Apparently his handwork was something he had to work on significantly, and Bill Callahan apparently has improved that significantly. We're going to find out tomorrow. So Donald Penn is his backup, and Corey Robinson won't even make the team, so I'm not going to talk about him. Donald Penn is the veteran we got from Oakland. If Trent Williams doesn't come back, Donald Penn will be the guy that we used to replace him, and he'll be an adequate starting offensive lineman. He won't be an elite one. I'm pretty sure he's past that. I'm pretty sure his age. He's pretty old. Let me see if I can click on his age. I think it's 34 or 33 or something like that. It's coming up. It's taking sweet time. 36. Wow. Okay, he's a little bit older than I thought. So he's not going to be someone that's going to be here long term. It's like a 1-year rental. Eric Flowers will be a left guard. I don't see that happening. I mean, he might be getting better. They said that a lot of the things, his problems are, he doesn't get leverage because he stands straight up whenever the ball's hiked. And that's one of his biggest problems. At guard, that's less of an issue because you don't have to worry about someone going around you. You have to go through you or like through whatever the case may be. Left tackle, that's an issue because they can just speed right around you if you're standing straight up. You can't move vertically to stop them. I do see Wes Martin starting for the end of the season. And I predicted that in my last video. We're going to have at least 2 rookie offensive linemen starting. I'm not going to talk about Hugh Thornton. Center, Chase Roulier. And Chase Roulier has been a solid starter. Hopefully he can stay healthy. Ross Pierschbacher is they have him at third on the depth chart. I would get rid of Tony Bergstrom before I got rid of him. But I predict he'll also be he'll start for the end of the year too. Chase Roulier hasn't been staying healthy. That's the biggest issue right now. Right guard, Brandon Sheriff, which we need to get. We really need to get a contract extension on him. He is probably our best offensive line, and if we're losing Trent Williams, we can't lose our 2 best offensive linemen in one offseason. It's not going to happen. I'm not going over the backups. The backups are not of any consequence to me. Morgan Moses, he is what he is. I don't like him. This is what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping that we can eventually this year, Donald Penn will start. Jerron Christian will be at the backup for Donald Penn at the left tackle. Morgan Moses, I don't want him to get hurt, but let's say for some reason like he can't play, and Jerron Christian steps in and he actually is the starter that we need at the right tackle spot. And then we can focus on replacing our left tackle next season. And then we have an entire offensive line that is relatively young and we can hang on to for a few years. That is what my hope is that going forward, that's what we can do to make sure that we have a solid offensive line going forward, and we only have to replace one position, which is the left tackle. We can focus solely on our draft to get a solid left tackle. That's what my hope is that Jerron Christian, something like clicks in him, and we can finally move on from Morgan Moses. I know Morgan Moses is kind of a fan favorite. To me, I can't stand him. He led the league in like penalties last year, like being flagged the most. It just seemed like every time we had a possession or where we were moving the football, he all of a sudden gets a penalty for holding or something stupid like that. So I could go all day with my frustration about Morgan Moses. I remember it was like clockwork. Every single series we had where we were moving the football, Alex Smith gets a rhythm going, penalty. And not that Alex Smith can't overcome that. It's just he's not that type of quarterback. When you're a game manager, you manage the game 10 yards at a time. You don't manage the game 20 yards at a time. That's the difference between it. I know a lot of people don't like that about Alex Smith, but that's the smart thing about Alex Smith. The game of football is 10 yards at a time until you get to the end zone. And that's how you are efficient. You work the clock. and you get points. And that's what we did last year. When we did that and we didn't have penalties, we were very successful. When we caught passes and did that, we were very successful. We had a solid running game. Our passing game had its moments, but we also had horrible moments when we got rhythm, it got ruined really quickly. Okay? I think that's every position except for quarterback. Quarterback, Colt McCoy will start. I don't know why Jay Gruden has this love affair with Colt McCoy. I really don't. Colt McCoy has proven a lot of things. He's proven that he's actually a good leader. I'll give him that. He's adequate at running the position. However, he has proven a lot of other things too. He's proven he can't stay healthy. He got his start last year, and he wasn't 2 games into his start. He broke his leg. He hurt his leg. He was picked on, I think it was Saturday. He got picked, or Friday. They released the actual depth chart, the one I'm looking at right now. And Colt McCoy, he hurt his foot. Just by playing in a it might have been contact, but he wasn't hit by somebody. He tripped over his own foot, apparently. So I don't understand what the Redskins' love affair with it. I think what it makes sense is they're going to throw Colt out there against starters to prevent Keenum or Haskins from facing starters, and then those guys will face backups with our backup line, but against backup defenders. So I think that's the thought process there. My prediction is Colt McCoy will play about maybe even the first quarter, but definitely the first 2 series. Case Keenum will take over until halftime. Haskins hits third quarter, and Josh Wilson will get the fourth quarter. Stop it. Sorry, that was my cat. Adrian Peterson, running back. Adrian Peterson he'll probably start, but apparently he's been injured the last 2 days with like an ankle injury. He's older, so he doesn't really need to be starting. Really what we need to see is Darius Geis has a hamstring injury, so can't play him. We need to see Samaje Perine. Let's see him. Byron Marshall, wouldn't mind seeing him. And we can't see these other 2, I don't even know. But Bryce Love would be another one that would be good to see. That would be another running back good to see. I think he's still coming off an injury, though, so I'm not going to get too much into that. But I've been hearing this a lot. Apparently our strongest position right now on our team is on offense is running back. We have a solid group. I'm not going to lie. We do have a solid group of running backs. Adrian Peterson, Darius Geis, Chris Thompson, who's a playmaker, Bryce Love. There's a lot of playmakers in that. And Byron Marshall's not a bad, if you count those 3 your first 4, he's not a bad fifth option at running back. The Washington Redskins do have an adequate supply or a surplus of talent at that position. Well, Adrian Peterson will be gone after this year. So we got to look forward to the future, which is going to be either Darius Geis or Bryce Love. Chris Thompson, I think, is going to be gone, and that's where Bryce Love's going to come in. He's going to replace that. But probably we'll just keep Byron Marshall because he's got a cheap contract, and he doesn't do bad when he goes in. So, going forward. But defense. Let's go to defense real quick. Defensive end. Now, I'm going to go over this real quick. Apparently, our quarterback play in our practices has not been very good. Now, we can chalk that up to a few things. Maybe they're just bad. Maybe our quarterbacking core is really horrible. Maybe our receivers are that bad, and maybe they're just not on the same page. Maybe that could be a bunch of different things. There's also the positive side of this. Maybe our defense is extremely good. Right? Maybe our defense is extremely good, and they're going to do this to a lot of people. What's hypothetically here? Let's say, for example, this year, and I can say that some of this is possible with the talent we have listed here. Let's say we have the top run defense in the league this year. Let's hypothetically say that. And we have like a top 5 passing defense. That would mean we have like a top 3, top 2, top 4 defense. Is a top 4 defense going to eat up Colt McCoy, Case Keenum, and a rookie named Haskins? Probably. So let's keep on the positive side of that. It doesn't always mean a bad thing when the quarterbacks don't do well in our practices because they're going against our defense, and our defense is pretty darn good. I'm about to go over some guys here that are solid, good players. I mean, the work ethic and the tenacity of the defense is showing in these players, especially from a lot of things I heard on the offseason. So first, defensive end, Jonathan Allen. Caleb Brantley is his backup. Jonathan Allen has been a workhorse. He's a workhorse. He is a Alabama-bred defensive player where he's looking to win football games. He doesn't look to lose. He's looking to win. That goes and correlates with the other 2 guys on this team that are on the other defensive line as well. Nose tackle, Jerron Payne and Tim Settle, and then you have Matt Ioannidis. Okay? And you could probably throw another guy in here. Montez Sweat could play the defensive end position. There's some guys are interchangeable, okay? And you have Jordan Brailford could probably do it as well. I think he played defensive end in college anyway. He led the SEC or Big 12 in sacks. So they definitely got some talent there. Ryan Anderson's another one you could probably play. Those are talented guys that have a desire to win. I was listening to JP Finley. Apparently Matt Ioannidis has gotten stronger, and he pancaked people last year. He just molded them over. Deron Payne, obviously Deron Payne's big. Tim Settle, he's a big guy. Jonathan Allen is, I wouldn't say elite talent, but he's close. He's close to that elite talent. And then adding Montez Sweat to that mix, he could rotate him at linebacker. You could rotate him at defensive end. There's a lot of different things you can do with him. So our defensive line's solid. One of the best defensive line combinations you're going to have in the league when it comes to the three they have plus their backups. Plus what we can add to. You can put Kerrigan on all four down and have him be a defensive end too. He's a great pass rusher in that regard. So, and if I hope he gets 7 sacks this year. I think he breaks our record. Stop it. So, linebackers. Now, linebackers are some of the question marks, but also not the biggest question marks to me. I think I understand what the Redskins are doing. Ryan Anderson is our starting strong side linebacker. He should be. He needs to prove what he is and what he's worth, so on and so forth. Montez Sweat's his back. And Montez Sweat will get rotations at a lot of different positions to see where he fits best and where we can best use him. I don't think he'll go at defensive end all the time or anything like that. I think he'll rotate in when we do like 4-down linemen. He'll do it. He'll rotate in when we want to go fast. We'll pick on Deron Payne and go like Kerrigan, Ioannidis, Allen, and then Sweat. Because Sweat's not good in coverage. So that would be a down lineman to like really get after the quarterback whenever we're up by beating teams and they got to pass. That'd be the strategy I would go with on that. But Ryan Anderson is our starting strong side linebacker, and he'll probably be back. He's backed up by Montez Sweat according to the depth chart, and then Marcus Smith. Middle linebacker. Now this is where middle linebacker has questions. Okay, I think what they're doing, and this is apparent. The last game I watched was the Texans game from last year. Apparent that this is why Mason Foster got released. Mason Foster could not keep up with running backs out of the backfield. He is great when it comes to pursuit of guys running plays. He cannot cover. And that is the significantly glaring issue with the linebacking corps for Dak Brown and Mason Foster the last 2 years. They've gone younger. They've gone faster. You got Shaun Hamilton, Josh Harvey-Clemens, Cole Holcomb, B.J. Blunt, and John Bostic. Those are your 5, and then Marquise Flowers if you want to throw him in there. Those are your 5 middle linebackers. Most of them can cover. Cole Holcomb has the speed to cover. Shaun Hamilton, Josh Harvey-Clemens, all of them have the speed to cover guys out of the backfield. Okay? And that is what we're going to... And also, you can go Jordan Brailford, too, if you want, because he's the third-string weak side linebacker. A lot of them have the ability to cover. John Bostic will I think, has a better ability to cover than Mason Foster. I don't think he's purely a cover linebacker. But he has a better ability to cover guys out of the backfield. I think that's what they're going with here. They're doubling down on the fact their defensive line is big, and they're loading up on fast guys on the linebacking core to help cover people. Because that was our biggest weakness last year. We could not do 2 things last year defensively: covering tight ends and covering guys out of the backfield. We could stop the run, and we can stop big play passing for the most part until we got a certain player, and our strategy changed. I won't get into that. But for the most part, those are our weaknesses last year. And I think they're trying to shore up those weaknesses. Weak side linebacker, Kerrigan, Casanova McKenzie, Jordan Brailford. Cornerback. Quentin Dunbar is slotted to start at one cornerback, and Josh Norman is the other one. So those are our 2 starting corners. This depth chart will change because I don't see Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie being on this defense after... Stop it. Sorry, my cat keeps playing with wires. I do not see him being on this team come the Eagles game. He will not be on this team. You have younger players that are better. Fabian Moreau is the back with Quentin Dunbar. I really see Jimmy Moreland sliding into that slot spot. Where we had, was it Kendall Fuller? Yeah, Kendall Fuller 2 years ago. I see Jimmy Moreland sliding into that spot and covering slots. Jimmy Moreland is a player. That guy can play. He will replace Norman He will place one of those two as a starting safe corner in the next 2 years. That kid can play. He may not be the biggest, but he can play. He's a playmaker. He's a ball hawk, and he's just really good at covering. He's a good defender. He's a flat-out football player. Jimmy, I've heard nothing but great things about him. Fabian Monroe is adequate. Let's just put it that way. He can do a decent job. But the other cornerbacks, the only one I see that there's anything else out of is Donis Alexander's injured right now, and Greg Stroman. Both of them have potential to be good. They're both actually bigger-bodied corners, which I think is why they drafted them. They're not going to give up on Adonis right away because Adonis, they gave up a 6th-round pick in the supplemental draft to get him. So they're going to ride that out. But our safeties, Landon Collins obviously will start. There's no question in my mind he will start. And he's actually, it sounds like he's having a great impact on the other safeties. Monte Nicholson is slotted at the free safety spot, and apparently he's been like knocking guys out. Not out, but just really lighting them up. He's been laying some big hits on people. He's been playing super aggressive. And I think that's Landon Collins' effect right there. Landon Collins is one of the elite safeties in the NFL. And that's going to rub off on everyone else. It's going to rub off on the corners. It's going to rub off on your safeties, even your backup. Okay? Troy Apke and DeShazer Everett are the backups. The other two guys I'm not going to talk about. Obviously, punter Tressway, probably the best punter in the league last year. Dustin Hopkins, solid kicker, long snapper, Sutberg, and kick returners Trey Quinn and Byron Marshall. Yeah, we'll stick with that. If Trey Quinn is more involved in our receiving aspect, it'll probably be Jimmy Moreland, or maybe they'll go with Greg Stroman. I don't really carry the way on that. So that's our depth chart. What do I expect from this game? I expect not a lot of passing. Redskins are going to come in. They're going to try to establish the run. They're going to pass a few times to give their offensive linemen looks at it. Let's see if they can actually move their feet. They're going to check footwork. It's going to be, I don't want to say scripted, but it's going to be a very, very vanilla run right, run left, play action pass. No complicated passing routes. It'll not be an exciting game to watch. If you're looking to watch football, looking for the caveats and ins and outs of how football is played and watching football, then yeah, that'll be what you're watching for. This is not going to be a game where we're going to go out there. I mean, if we go out and light it up, that's great. Maybe Colt McCoy goes out, gets a touchdown. I would see every quarterback get a touchdown. That's my goal, and a running back get like 50 yards each to get like about 5 or 10 carries. But other than that, that's my video. This is JD. Like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, and obviously follow this page. If you could, it really does help me a lot. If you could actually forward it to other people, share it on your Redskin groups. I haven't listened to a lot of these Redskin groups, so I try to share them myself, but really would help my page get a little bit more notoriety. This is a big season coming up. I think this is a season where I'll give my prediction for it right after the season ends. Prediction of what I think the Redskins will do this year. But for now, like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching my video. This is JD. Hail to the Redskins. Have a good day.